YouTube, what's going on? It's Rabble. I'm your usual host. I will forever be your host on this channel. But it's good to see you again. So we're going to get into something that's a little bit different, a little bit off the cuff for this channel. Something I want to talk about with each and every one of you, whether it's the 2 people that sometimes view, the 50 people who sometimes view, or for the nearly 1,000 people that have watched the really old Apex video, and in which case, good on you, because it's terrible. Cue the intro. All right. So, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm in sales. I'm in car sales. Relax. I'm in car sales. And I see all these videos about, like, this is how you buy a car. This is blah, 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 blah. I was in sales for 10 years, 30 years ago, and I know the business. First off, you don't know jack, because your advice is literally the worst thing I've ever heard. As a car salesman, let's just get into something right out the gate right now. I don't get paid until you purchase something. That's like the biggest thing you need to keep on your brain. I'm not paid to test drive. I'm not paid to tell you what your trade is valued at. I'm not making any money. Last time I checked, I can't call National Grid and say, hey, National Grid, just wanted to let you know that I test drove 4 people around in 16 different cars because they're making a decision now for 6 months from now. They don't care. So, in this, I want you to take away the biggest piece of this, okay? My job is to sell cars. My other job, while selling a car, is to keep you happy. While I sell cars, keep you happy, and let me just say this. Let me say this. There are shitty people out there. There are shitty salespeople. And I don't mean shitty because they're like bad at their job. I mean shitty because they're literally going to try to take you for everything you're worth. Okay? For every shitty salesperson, there are numerous people who just want to sell you a car, make a little bit of money, and call and say, hey, hope everything's going well. You on the other end, Joan or Carl, say, everything's great, man. Really appreciate your help the other day. We'll be sending people your way. Thanks. I don't want to sell you a car that I know in 2 weeks when I call, it's going to be a headache. I don't know why you think that. I have no idea why consumers and customers think when we tell you, hey, this car's not the right... Okay, let's back it up. Let's rewind to a story. Cue some crazy, like, effect. I had a customer, come in and say, hey, I would like to purchase this SUV. Now, this SUV had been moved around back, but hadn't been removed from the inventory on the website because that takes 7 to 10 days for everything to go into motion. It's just, that's the way it works. Nothing is instantaneous. You can purchase a car today, and it'll still be on the website a week from now usually, because it's not my job. It's not my job, okay? I didn't take it off. I didn't put it on. But anyways, so this car was moved around back. It had some issues and was getting bought back by the company. Okay, this was a lease vehicle, and it just had some issues. We'll call it a lemon, but that term is thrown around so grossly. But so this person comes in and says, "I'd like to purchase this," and I say, "I will not sell you that car. However, because you're on that specific vehicle, let me show you one similar for similar pricing, and we can put together the same kind of deal." They were adamant about purchasing this other car. So adamant, in fact, that they got mad at me because whoever assembled it screwed up, which wasn't me. then proceeds to write a review that I bait and switched her. Let me tell you something. I saved myself the biggest headache, along with you, that I could have ever saved myself. And yet you instead insulted me, my reputation, because I wouldn't sell you a car knowing that the engine was no good. Just think about that. Think about that out there in the realm of consumer land. She was mad that I tried to put together a similar deal on a vehicle with everything that that one had, and bashed me repeatedly for bait and switching her. Now, I know what the bait and switch is. Everyone should know what a bait and switch is. A bait and switch is when you go in for a vehicle and they say, this vehicle is blah, blah, blah. Here's one that's more expensive because that's more beneficial to me as a salesperson. Not, I will put together the same deal and similar pricing on a vehicle with the same features. That's not a bait and switch. That's a, I don't want a headache for the next 6 months. Okay? Joan, I don't want you to call me every day for 6 months because you have my personal phone number, because even when I'm not at work, as a salesperson, I have to be readily available for my customers. So, the point of the story is, if a salesperson, and I know we've got a bad rap, but we're not all bad. We're paying for the sins of the ones from the 80s and the 70s who are now telling you how to purchase a car in the 70s and 80s when the internet didn't exist and I didn't have to compete with 3 states over that guy who's now competing with me. It isn't about the dude down the street, okay? I don't care about the dealership 2 blocks up. They're irrelevant to me, okay? Because they're not the same brand. They just don't compare. What I care about is the one that's 4 hours away that you could possibly drive and get because you've got all this time to piss away because you've test driven 17 cars and you have already spent 8 hours at the dealership, which is 2 hours shy of my shift, and I've yet to make a dime. And even when I sell the car, you're going to complain about God knows what. Like, I assembled it, worked on it, did the financing, I gave you the interest rate because I'm the bank, and I'm the one who didn't pay your bills. So, all of those things together, I just want you to understand one thing. If you come into a dealership and you treat us like subhuman garbage, you will get the exact same results back. We're not all bad. We're just there to make a living. Okay? And until you've done the job, don't complain. Okay? I hear it all the time from my good customers. I have a great group of customers. I have a great, I wouldn't even call them customers. I would call them, there's not even a name for what they are, right? We don't hang out. We're not acquaintances, but that's too far. We've spent a significant amount of time. I know their kids' names. I know what their plans are. We've done all that. And those people ask me why I still do this. Because, we talk about the horror stories of my job. And I tell them, obviously like I am right now. And we talk about it. And we laugh. And they say, oh, why do you do this? And, I think about it every day. Why I'm in sales. And it's not for the 8 shitty people I deal with on a regular basis who come in and tell me that they could buy everywhere and they're God's gift to car buying and they saw 17 YouTube videos and now are going to tell me how to do my job and wait until the last minute to tell me they need a certain feature so that way I can redo 10 pieces of paper and get that to finance upon being screamed at by every manager under the sun because it's my problem that you didn't tell me, not yours and not theirs. So, in terms of all of this, why do I do it? Because it seems like I'm very negative about my job, and I'm not. I love my job. I do it because for the 8 shitty people who come through the door and talk to me, The other, let's call them 5, 6, 10, I don't know. Those people, I'm helping. They're in a situation where they need the assistance, right? They need the help. They need to keep their payment low. They need to do this. They need to do that. And those people are generally honest about what they want. We're not the liars. I want you to know that. We're not. If you ask us a question, we'll give you the answer. Because, quite frankly, we don't want to deal with bullshit. Stop lying to us. Stop making the job 10 times harder. Just be like, I need this, and this. I don't like this color. It has to be this engine. And I want to pay X amount. And we figure the rest out. That's what we're there for. It's a pain in the ass. We have to look at your income because there's a lot of ins and outs to the business that you don't understand. A bank will not charge you more than you can afford. If your income says you can afford it, they will allow you the loan. If they say you can't afford it, they won't give you the loan. They want their money. That has nothing to do with me. Stop lying. Just tell us what you need. Or want. Or anything. Let's have some damn fun. And it started with money. Because at the end of the day, it's always about the numbers. And for us as salespeople, it's also about the numbers. We just have to find where we're both all right. We can get there. We gotta spend time together. Figure it out. All right? It's a real video from a real car salesman. Don't let the shirt fool you. Just because I'm not wearing a suit and prancing around with a book and saying, this is how you buy a car. Don't tell them about the trade. Don't tell them about money down. Blah, 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 blah. All of that shit matters. Right out the gate. Just be honest, and we'll put together a deal. It's that simple. I'm Rabble, and I'm an honest car salesman, and I work with another 15 of them. We're changing the name of the game, and if you're not ready for it, then sit back and keep doing what you're doing, and realize you'll never get a follow-up call. You're not worth the time. And that's on you. It's not on us. So make yourself worth the time. Value your time. Value your salesperson's time. Do us all a favor. Just be a genuinely nice human being. Now, that's going to do it for me, guys. Stay amazing. Stay supportive. And stay unique. I love you all.